on this list: Roman Polanski, Benjamin Netanyahu, Mark Zuckerberg, Marilyn Manson, Cristiano Ronaldo, Jean-Marie Le Pen, Hasan Piker, Justin Baldoni, Woody Allen, Chris Brown, Bill Gates, Harvey Weinstein, Joe Biden, Donald Trump, George Bush. If you think that I... Yeah. I like that when you, I love how people assume if you're pro sex work, you're pro exploiting women, not giving them legal protection so they can protect themselves. I know. Like, it's always, it's never arguing about what your points are. Oftentimes the perspective is well rooted within academic literature, but also the personal the personal conversations I've had with sex workers in general, fully aware of all of the exploitation that exists in the industry, specifically as an effort to try and combat said exploitation, because further prosecution ends up making it impossible to eliminate or eradicate that exploitation, considering that it's always, black market affairs, black market transactions in general. And it's just, no, he's just like really horny, and he wants to purchase sex work because he's really horny. Like, dude, come on. Like, come on. TikTok girlies defending you though. This video is not showing up for me. I think someone sent this to me earlier, and it said the video was currently unavailable even back then. Maybe I can do it like this. Wait, what? Oh my God. Did they have to go private because you're blocked by them? Wait, so this is not a TikTok girly that's defending.
So while I'm waiting for my computer to load, I am going to quickly explain my opinion on Hasan Piker, because I think a lot of people who saw my video like, oh my God, Sade got him to wear a mask, think he's anti-mask for some reason. So let's fix that. I'm also seeing a lot of friends and friends of friends and friends of friends of friends discussing things Hasan never did, which is interesting because I think he's a nucleation site for a lot of conversation on the left, because he was one of the only nucleation sites. Let me make this brief. First off, I was there when Hasan started streaming. Okay, I was there at the very beginning because I was the teenager watching the Young Turks. Okay, because I was insufferable, and so I was there when Hasan started that series on Facebook. I was there at the very, very beginning. I was there when he started streaming. The streams were 50-50. He was just getting started. But if you think about it, the concept of a Hasan Piker is a very intense one. Someone gets on stream almost 7 days a week, talking almost exclusively about current events live. It's very intense. If you are a fan of that, you're usually either playing it in the background, which is very psychically difficult because the stuff that's going on in the background is very contentious. So I had to kind of pull out of that. Now, so I would dip in and out, and I've dipped in and out of being a Hasanabi head for forever. Since the start, honey. I align almost completely with his politics. Almost completely. There's two places we deviate, me and Hasan. And I will talk about those in a second. But I do want to mention part of the reason I let these two areas go. Hasan, much like ContraPoints used to be labelled, is one of the only de-radicalization pipelines the left has for the right. There are very few ways to de-radicalize people, and part of that, as like, I think people have this fantasy of de-radicalizing people by screaming the truth at them, because it feels like that should work, and it doesn't. And Hasan does scream a lot. But part of what he does is he's a Trojan horse for left-wing ideas, quite literally Trojan horse, like he's built like one too. He wears the language of the guys we were not going to be able to convince, looking like this. And as a young black woman, I've learned that there's the world you want and there's the world you have.
I mean,
and
she's
Hasan
cooking.
helps us create the world we want by talking in the language of the.
I definitely believe that this person is a OG Hasanabi head now. Aside from like the Facebook stuff, but also the fact that like she gets it.
World we have.
Yeah.
And that's why it's never too hot on him, because he's doing more of the work than most people who just talk, and certainly most dude bros on the left who just talk. When it was time for everyone to go, we need a left-wing Joe Rogan, we only had one person we could turn to, and it was Hasan. And even then, I'm not perfect on everything that he does, but he's one. I wish the people who didn't like Hasan or who didn't like how he represents the left would start streaming so I could watch them, so that I could be 100%.
Yeah, they're not gonna happen. Okay, and that's not because I'm like, that's not because I'm some deity or anything. It's because I'm at the level that I'm at because I'm not like that. That's why I always repeat to my chat when there are moments of panic, when there are moments where they're like, no, we gotta, what are you talking about? You're allowing too much information you're allowing too many takes. You're allowing people with unrecognized like misogyny or racist thoughts to come into the community. And it's like, I know what I'm doing. Just let it sit. Let me cook.
100% aligned with the streamer. But again, there are barriers to it. You know, Hasan got into it because he was doing it as part of his side hustle while he was working social media at the Young Turks, right? Or like, I think it was social media. I felt like he was working social media at the Young Turks. He was also a contributor for sure. Anyway, here are the two places I deviate with Hasan. Number one, he believes in the concept of protecting the most vulnerable and doesn't mask in public spaces, which is what disability advocates, immunocompromised people, and the most vulnerable among us have asked us to do. Like,
fair.
And even if I think the reasoning he gave, someone said the reasoning he gave was that one-way masking doesn't work, which
is always funny because like whenever people say like, oh, a relative of mine or my boyfriend or, you know, my young cousin or whatever watches you, I'm like, great. Okay. Ask yourself, is it better that someone that you know, even if you disagree with me like 40% of the time, is it better that your cousin or a younger male in your life watches me and changes the way they see the world through the way I see the world, or if they watch any number of other content creators in this space that have male-focused content? Okay? Because you look at those numbers on the board, and I'm up there alongside Aiden Ross, Asmongold, and a million other content creators whose politics do not align with yours at all. At all. You can disagree with me on stuff. Do people do this for other content creators? I feel like it's odd that people feel the need to come out with one minor disagreement with you. It's because of what I do. It's because I do political commentary, but most importantly, I do political commentary on the left.
is an incredibly simplistic way of putting it. Every COVID mitigation is about statistics and probability. It's all about math. Putting on a mask lowers the statistic probability of the spread of COVID, either to you or from you. And the visibility of that mask increases the probability other people will wear a mask, therefore increasing the probability of safety and decreasing the probability of giving and receiving COVID, and many
Brother, this might sound ridiculous, but when you showed that one girl on TikTok who said her ick with you was she thought you were ran through, then and there I realized you are fine. They're just being like guys are. You are doing it too well, and that's what icks them off. Yeah, no, I know that. The problem that I have with many people on the left, most likely is not stemming from most likely is not stemming from like genuinely held disagreements. Sometimes it's a misunderstanding of what my position is and then like, running with it. But more often than not, what I have seen at least is optics. Okay? I am a representation of the types of people that have harmed you. Okay? I look and carry myself a very specific way because that's who I am, right? This is just who I am organically. And for a lot of people who arrive at leftist positions, progressive politics, because of like deep marginalization that they've experienced in their lives, it's always a motherfucker that looks like me that has at some point in time bullied you, shit on you, said some racial slurs against you, been transphobic to you, hurt you, sexually harassed you. So for that reason, a lot of people that arrive at leftist positions or progressive politics have this like deep, almost triggering fear of someone who looks like me, which is why I always remind people this commentary might not be for you. Okay? When I talk about transphobia, I'm not talking to trans people. I'm talking to transphobic people. When I talk about anti-black racism, I'm not talking to black people. I'm talking to white people who exhibit anti-black tendencies. That's it. Now, there are, of course, other people who like masquerade as progressives or whatever that have infiltrated these movements like SWERFs and TERFs and the like, right? People who are who engage in almost entirely wrecker behavior. But outside of that, for the most part, a lot of people's disagreements with me come from the thing that also make me successful. Do you think transphobic people turn into your streams? Yes. Are you crazy? Of course transphobic people tune into my streams. Do you know how, like, the normal position in society is transphobia? What the heck? Yes, they have. And many people in this community probably held to some degree transphobic opinions. Some of them are trans, by the way. A good friend of mine who's a longtime leftist and liberal said to me, I don't know what it is, but Hasan rubs me the wrong way. And when I asked why, he had absolutely no reason, just that you felt weird. Like, yeah, man, okay. If you don't give me some solid reasoning, then I don't want to hear it. That's what I mean. That is very common. I get it. Let's continue with this.
Other things. In 2020, we eradicated a strain of flu we had been vaccinating people against for years. By the way, flu, still killing people. And guess what that used to be? Spanish flu. Influenza from the 90s. So we're not over COVID. We could have another century of COVID going on. Or we could do what we did in 2020. Increase mask wearing, decrease the risk and the R number of COVID and potentially eradicate it. But that was not capitalistically viable for our current system. So they would rather just kind of cull us and kill us all over time and have the weak and vulnerable fall to the wayside. I would think this was something that Hasan Piker would understand. That's the one of the things I deviate politically from him on. The other thing is I keep myself on red alert anytime he starts talking about women's issues. I think the recent thing where people are saying he's attacking Blake Lively is, I watched the stream. He was very, very solidly on Blake Lively's side. Far more than actually even I am, because I'm operating on a couple of different nuance levels when it comes to Blake Lively. But he was very solidly on her side. And unfortunately, the number of people I've seen talking about how Hasan's bad on the issue of Blake Lively tend to be self-proclaimed rad femmes, and I have an issue politically with rad femmes because we can get into that another time. But yeah, I just keep an eye on his talking points around women, not because I think he's necessarily a misogynist, but because, you know, internalized misogyny. You know, he's a guy and he's gonna have blind spots. And like, just like...
I mean, what you're saying, this girl literally has blocked you, so what you're saying is adding up. I mean, I don't know why this person has blocked me. I don't know. I have no idea. But I don't think she said anything wrong or incorrect or inappropriate here. I mean, yeah, I have privileged blind spots when it comes to misogyny. Something that I voluntarily, it's something that I regularly mention. She's a fan and has even had her opinion swayed from rad femme. Sad. Wait, what?
Like everyone, no one's a hero. No one person is going to be able to save the entirety of all of us. Amen, amen. You know, so those are the two kind.
I had someone tell me they didn't like you because of a joke H Bomber made about Reactgate, which I thought was kind of crazy. Did that person know that I'm friends with H Bomber? I don't know if she blocked me or not. She might have just like went private or something.
Kind of bits where I just go, whoop, you know, but other than that, I love the guy. I keep an eye on him, and he's not serving a purpose necessarily for me other than entertainment, because I'm already here. But he very much serves a purpose, like proper purpose, in de-radicalizing people.
By the way, this is the reason why I don't, you know, pay too much attention to the extra noise, for the record. Because this is where I see myself. Enough hater talk. Now chatters are saying any bad thing they heard about you. Well, first of all, this person is not a hater. What are you guys talking about? And I'm not an anti-masker, but she's right. I don't wear masks when I'm out in public. This is true. So it's a valid critique.
I'm not saying too easy on my boy because he's doing the good work. I'm just saying, when bringing critiques to the table, some of this language critique or the way he's saying something needs to be informed by the fact that he is actually making the decision to communicate that way. So he's not communicating to you, but to someone who needs converting, or someone who does not speak the language, the praxis necessarily yet. Right? He's the start of the conversation, not the end. And that's why I tend to keep my hands off the issue of Hasan. Because until we have 10 Hasans, we can't afford to lose one, I don't think. That's my value judgment as someone on planet Earth trying to survive being marginalized. We can't lose the one we have until we have backups.
Yeah, make more Hasans and then you guys can take me out. The perfectionism of the left often becomes a hindrance. We need to accept some disagreements from our teammates or else we'll keep losing. Thank you for putting this in the words. I'm a fan of Hasan, but I can recognize the shortcomings. We need more people who can fit that role. I was a teenager watching the Young Turks take the Dragon cigarette. Been a long time since I heard that name. Hasan's a net good. A lot of people don't seem to understand that. There it is. I mean, it's just... Here, if you want to see... if you want to see the opposite of this... there is the famous Sister Separatist TikTok that went nutty mode, but that person is just like crazy. Like that's it. There's just no other place to. There's no other way to talk about it. I need
Hasan's downfall to be swift and thorough. So I've talked extensively about how leftist men contribute to a misogynist.
This is the crazy one. And then immediately, it's just like, brrr, all these people, she's literally using like a Destiny clip as well. This went like viral.
Let's get one thing clear. I am not a fucking leftist. I will never again.
Right after that, hold on.
Make the mistake of trying to carry male causes on my back. Leftist, right-wing, liberal, conservative, it's all the same bullshit. And I know enough of my history not to fucking trust you. Sexism and misogyny.
The funniest thing is people like this will be like, leftism is a male cause. But also, look, look.
Aren't priorities for leftists. Believe me, I learned that the hard way. The fuck I look like getting lashed across the back for a bunch of motherfuckers that don't care about my material conditions. Don't even bring that shit over here. I'm not doing anything I don't benefit from. Nowhere but the class war. It's always been about unity for y'all, never solidarity, because you don't ever want to have to reciprocate. And my time, my labor, those are my most valuable resources. Why would I waste it on some shit I don't give a fuck about? I'm completely focused.
Dude, Americans are so fucking brain broken. That's it. I can't say anything else. Like, this is literally this is American brain rot at its maximum level, okay? Like, using emancipatory language while masquerading in a hyper individualistic attitude is like using the language of emancipation to, one, shred what remains of class consciousness and solidarity, all in an effort to also then turn around and reframe the concept of emancipation exclusively on hyper individualistic terms, is the most American attitude you can have. Okay? That's it. That's it. That's we're so, dude, this, by the way, is the remnants of American Red Scare and American white supremacy, which still very much exists, both of them, especially American white supremacy. But that's what it is. Like, virtually every single black liberation group that has existed throughout American history has almost always latched on a global socialist movement, okay? They were always born out of a socialist desire. And then America killed all of the leadership and jailed everyone else. And here we are. It's just, I genuinely think a lot of people think like her, and it makes me really sad.
I don't owe you shit, especially not loyalty. And I'm not overlooking shit anymore. I don't want nothing from you. But anyway, to all my sisters out there, have a successful, joyous new year. Don't let outsiders try and convince you to take up their causes. It won't benefit you in any way. Learn your history. Fuck Marx, fuck Engels, fuck Lenin. Read women. Dworkin, Hooks, Davis, Jeffries. Men have always left us behind in their little revolutions. We got
No Rosa Luxemburg. Lenin seemed to like her a lot. I don't know. No mention of Mao women hold up half the sky Zedong. No. I mean, this kind of sentiment is strange because it's like, one, okay, there's obviously plenty of famous black men who are revolutionary figures, but outside of that, there's also famous non-black revolutionary women as well. Hasan, do not antagonize, please. Are you kidding me? I don't know. I think ultimately, I don't know. this is just crazy. This has to be a Fed. It does feel Fed. It does feel Fed coded.
We got our own shit to worry about. We don't have time to carry them too. Start protecting your interests because they do it. Left or right. Who's always in power?
This was right after this video.
I need Hasan's downfall to be swift and thorough. So I've talked extensively about how leftists...
He's obviously a corn addict, and a lot of his views come from that. It's disheartening. Yes. My addiction to porn, which you can't write on TikTok, actually drives most of my advocacy, famously. Like, for example, when I say everyone deserves healthcare, it's so that, you know, when I bruise my penis from jorking it too hard, I can go and get free healthcare. I've never liked Hasan.
Men contribute to a misogynistic social climate. I've also talked about how they actively work to keep women out of politics. I think Hasan Piker is a great example of this. He contributed a great deal to the mocking of Amber Heard's testimony, and now he's doing the same thing to Blake Lively.
Oh no! It's true. I did. It was me. I'm the one who did it. Everyone else was actually firmly committed to Amber Heard. And then I posted about one time on Twitter how her fit was giving Mao Zedong, comparing her to a man. Although I do like Mao Zedong and also have the same fit. That was the pivotal turn when everyone went, I think people have no concept of the world outside of the horse blinders that they put on. I do wish I just ripped into Amber Heard now, though. I really do. And it's not even because it was outside, because I would have gotten so much clout. Like, I would have gotten endless amounts of clout off of that. So much clout. Like, I barely even touched it. I barely even covered it at a time when there was so much going on. Is she confusing it with Asmongold? No. Asmongold had 450,000 live viewers covering every second of the trial. And these people literally think I covered the trial extensively. I think I covered it twice. And even then, my take wasn't that, like, I love Johnny Depp and Amber Heard is a bed pooper or something like that. It was that I'm not entirely... What? Bro, what the F are you saying? This is valid criticism? This is a 2-hour video revisiting the Amber Heard and Blake Lively situations from a channel with 10,000 views. If you think I'm going to click on that, why don't you platform female politicians like Amber Heard or Blake Lively or Gypsy Rose? Yeah, I know. It was like 3 or 4 times, but then you had like 2 solid weeks of discourse around your small coverage. I know, because everyone just jumped on it. Also, I have read Angela Davis. If this person's argument is that I should read Angela Davis.
This is a man who thinks sexual violence is a revolutionary act. He has said that it's better for rich men to be taken out of university.
Oh my God. Oh my God. There ain't no way this person is... literally doing the Destiny take. Oh my God, dude, I love that. She's so insane. No, that's not what happened. If she only knew, the community that actually clipped that out of context oftentimes does rape review, where they serially turn around and directly debate victims of sexual violence, like with regular frequency, debate victims of sexual violence and bully them into submission, telling them that they actually were wrong for being victims to sexual violence. That's the community that clipped that out of context. I wonder what she would think about that. She knows she's aware of what she's doing? I don't think she is. I think she saw a clip. Part of the D community, I swear to God, I bet my life on it. No, she's not. You're crazy. A person with these kinds of politics is not. So, the clip she's referencing, yeah, she literally linked one of the Diddy G accounts in the comments like this directly. So she probably saw it on Twitter and has a fuck Hasan hate boner and jumped on it. And it's crazy because, like, I posted that myself. It's on my YouTube page. I posted that myself on my own YouTube page. The comment was about the Patrick, whatever the heck it's called, Patrick Davis College or whatever. I think that's what it's called. It was an anti-woke college that they wanted to create specifically against Title IX initiatives, specifically against like sexual violence combat initiatives that woke administrations had placed on top of colleges. And I said, from a utilitarian perspective, it'd be better if you contained all of the people that are volunteering to go to a pro date rape school. That's what I said. And I stand by it. Like, if you have an issue with that, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, Patrick Henry College is the name of the college, where they openly were talking about how, like, this is a anti-woke university. And we're going there because it's like, you know, there's no pesky rules around consent and things of that nature. It's no different than my Florida Project idea. Exactly. Divorcelli fans target women on social media sharing that clip when we praise something you said. Yeah. So yeah. Create a leper colony for rapists. Which is interesting because, people always post that and people always get mad at that. This is a classic example of why echo chambers are so bad. This chat is even an echo chamber to an extent. Meatheads need to educate themselves instead of just listening to their friends or believing one thing they see online and do zero research. Oh, yeah.
Fucking kidding me? Oh my God, I hate women. I hate women so much. I've literally never hated women and feminists more in this fucking very moment than I do right now. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my fucking.
The question is Amy Coney Barrett a feminist? But this is also the reason why I say, like, when people get mad at me, when people get mad at me about this sort of stuff, I'm like, I don't really care. It sucks that you might have friends that get duped into believing certain things, but it is what it is.
Regular universities so that they don't harm poor students, so that they can harm rich women. And we know that this rhetoric is dangerous. Men will always advocate for a specific group of women to absorb.
Okay. Seriously. If this person unironically thinks I think it's okay to, like, rape rich women, they need a lobotomy. You know what I mean? Like, that's not a serious contention, right? That's not a serious point of contention. It's so psychotic to me that people, like, unironically advance this okay, unironically advance this agenda as though that's like a real fucking argument that I've ever made, that I ever would make. If you had a dozen clips like that, maybe but one clip, nobody does any research or context anymore. No, it's just like, it's so stupid. It's not, that's what they think you said.
Violence to and under the guise of protecting other women, but what they really mean is they want.
Also, this person, they're no longer pro-left. And I'm going to explain to you, shit lip TikTok is about having reactionary takes, people get emotional. No, don't worry. I'm going to show you exactly where the anger and resentment towards me comes from. It's not just me being a man.
They want a green light, a go-ahead to have women to harm, where they don't have to take accountability. And sexual violence is one of the most effective methods of destroying female people. This rhetoric is also used to put targets on the backs of other groups of women who they find undesirable or disobedient. And these leftist men are taking advantage because they know sexual violence isn't taken seriously in society, anywhere. We're in the middle of a revenge porn, AI porn pandemic. Men are joining in group chats in the hundreds of thousands.
Wait, what? Why are you bringing this up in a conversation where you're talking about me? I've literally talked to AOC about specifically that. I have friends that have been directly victim to, like, people very close to me that have been directly victim to such things. What?
To share tips on how to sexually abuse and assault women. Even little girls aren't safe. And they know that they can rely on the cool girl socialists to defend them. He has regularly distributed misogynistic rhetoric to his large audiences of leftist men who turn around to applaud him.
Hasan, these people do not watch your content. Why should they assume you're a feminist from that clip? She literally says in the comments that she doesn't watch your content. Rat Femmes will not give you charitability. That's why this is silly. No, I agree. I know that. Yeah, surely you have never spoken about AR porn and revenge porn, including your co-host being a direct victim to it. Anyway, the reason why I covered this is because, like, I wanted to give you an example of, like, valid critique coming from a place of maybe some disagreements versus a person who's really passionate, and this person certainly is passionate, attacking this issue from the framework of you know, anti-Hasan. I hate him. I've seen a couple clips of him. I'm going to use that in my commentary to make it seem as though he is pro-rape of rich women as a revolutionary act. Like, I've never said that. I don't believe that. That's insane. That's completely and utterly insane. This person called you out for clout, not for genuine ideological reasons or disagreements. No, I think there's genuine ideological disagreements.
I have zero empathy for the female influencers who get on here and act like shaving your head is the worst thing in the world, even for political reasons. And I don't care who it offends. You wanted to pander to a misogynistic audience online and whine and cry because the world doesn't revolve around you. The 4B movement is almost 10 years old, but you only heard of it because of Donald Trump. Because instead of being normal about baldness, you want to turn this into a fashion pinnacle or something of beauty to be idolized, which was one of the reasons the 4B movement was created. Because you didn't care about the women who are exploited for their hair and taken to hair farms, sometimes even killed for their hair. Their lives taken just so that their hair could be sold as stupid fucking wigs.
What is the day rape clip even about? It's from Patrick Henry College. It's my commentary on, like, a anti-Me Too university that they were creating.